Okay, all right. I would like to call this emergency meeting of the Erie County Board of Elections to order. So Mr. Smith, if you would please conduct a roll call.
Mrs. Showerman,
Here.
Ms. Valella,
Here.
Chairwoman Rennie.
Here,
Thank you.
thank you. We will now move to the hearing of the public.
All right.
So if there are any members of the public that wish to be heard, you will each get 3 minutes. And Mr. Andrzejewski, do I gather that you would like to speak?
Yes, I'm here with Chad Hershey, who is my co-petitioner. And we would like to reiterate several things. Number one, we both filed petitions. I filed a motion with my petition citing, and all of these things have been on the record repeatedly, the reasons that my petition was not complete. And for the record, then I received a letter from you saying if I disagreed with this, file an application with the Erie County Court of Common Pleas to compel, which I did. And for the record of your meeting right now, I did go before Judge Brabender, and the Erie County Board of Elections did not object. And it was a lengthy hearing. We gave all of the reasons. We were interrogated by Judge Brabender, and he ruled in a lengthy statement all of the reasons, which are on the court record, that we should be there. And I would ask that if you not consider filing any further appeals, simply because of the fact that it has been heard in court. It has been heard in court twice as a petition and as reconsideration. And that I think is reasoning legally is sound. And I think that it is time to simply do what is best for the citizens and allow people to be on the ballot, even though there are troubles in a pandemic time. Especially the fact that on the Republican side, there is no one on the ballot, and Chad Hershey has compiled legally with all of the things he has to do. Former Councilman DiMatteo was taken off the ballot. I'm familiar with the reason he was taken off. That is a fatal defect if you don't sign your ethics form, or if you don't put the right year down, which I am told that's what happened. And I've seen that happen repeatedly in past challenges on ethics forms. That being said, I'm pretty close to my 3 minutes, and I would just like to ask that the board agree with the judge. I think it's time to get on with the election, and that's what we're here to ask you, to let us get on with the election. For many of you people, or some of you people, you are elected officials, and we ask you not to close the door on us. And also, I'd like to turn it over to Chad Hershey, who would reiterate some of the difficulties he had. And these difficulties were had by everybody, but for the record on the election board, Chad, would you?
All right, could we, excuse me, I just want to follow the correct format. Mr. Hershey, if you would begin by stating your name and your address, and then go ahead, and you have 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Chad Hershey, CHADHERSHEY. My residential address is 5065 Tamarlac Lane. That's TRAMARLAC Lane, LANE, and that's Erie, PA 16505. And that is in Mill Creek Township, Pennsylvania.
All right, you can go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, you guys, for taking the time and having this Zoom meeting. to try and get this under control and try and do what's best for our community. I would first like to say that I did put a great effort into getting my signatures, and I did take it extremely serious. Yes, I did come up short on the signatures. I came a total of 209 signatures. And as I mentioned in court several times for a lengthy time, 2 times for quite some time in front of the Honorable Judge Brabender in detail on exactly the reasoning why and what happened, and how difficult it was to get signatures by and just trying to obey the the guidelines of Governor Wolf and the 6 feet, and also the CDC, and also for respecting our community and having love and care for people that live in our community, and not trying to cause any viruses from spreading to other people. I went on with that.
Video.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so if anyone has any additional questions, I'd be more than happy to try and address those. With that, I also mentioned, recently in court, I mentioned why I started, why I didn't start on, on the 16th, why I started on the 27th. And I went into detail on that reasoning too. So that was in court documents. And also too, just I'd like to thank everyone. I'm very happy and excited to be a part of this, and I hope this works out so we can have one person on the Republican side. Just do the best we can do for our community, so everyone will on both sides, and every person will have a chance to vote and have confidence in the system, and just do it the best we can do. And I would be the first one to say that I wish the virus was never here. I wish it never would have happened. It's very sad that it happened, because it literally has changed every single person's life on planet Earth. Every human, some way, somehow, there has been some sort of, your life, it's different, just how we do day to day, doing business, living, and that is part of on the signatures here, as several other states, as was documented in court, did make changes to the numbers.
Thank you, Mr. Hershey. Your 3 minutes is up.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Yes,
I would like to ask now if there are any other members of the public who wish to be heard. I do not see any hands raised. Okay. So I'm going to ask again, are there any other members of the public who wish to be heard today? Any other members of the public who wish to be heard? Okay. Seeing none, I would like to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is possible board action. And at this time, due to the potential legal ramifications, sensitivity of the issues, I would like to call for a motion to move into executive session for the purposes of discussion.
This is Ellen, and I move to go into executive session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Rennie,
All those in
sorry, Ms.
favor?
Rennie, Ed Palatella from the Erie Times. I'd just like to put an objection on the record about going into an executive session. I realize that it's concerning litigation, but we all know what the litigation's about. So there's no secrets here about what's happening. So I would just like an objection on the record to the executive session. Thank you for your time on that.
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. We will be moving into executive session, however, because there are different considerations. And so we will be returning to the regular session as well.
Thank you for
So-
hearing me out.
Absolutely.
I would like to just reiterate Mr. Palatella's statement that we know why we're here.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Talarico.
We were in the middle of a vote and
Yes.
Ellen moved and Ann was about to second it when we were interrupted. The hearing of the public is over. And I think that we should complete the vote that is on the floor.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded to go into executive session, and we will conduct a voice vote. So all those in favor on the election board, all those in favor of going into an executive session, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, we will adjourn at this point to go into executive session. And the people who are on the call, you will be moved into the waiting room, and you will be brought back at the time the executive session is completed. So thank you. Okay, I don't see Doug.
Oh. I must have bumped him into the waiting room.
Waiting
Sorry,
room.
sorry, Doug.
That was just a little belated April Fool's joke, Doug. That's all.
Oh.
In fact, it's not really even belated.
Let's see, that's all of us, right? Yes.
Yes. I think if no one has any objection, I'd like to start by seeing what we can find out from Tom, who I know has been working on this.